Hello everybody. Today we have a quiz on translations, rotations, and reflections. So answer each question and be sure to show work when necessary. Number 1. Which describes the transformation shown below? Is it A, a reflection over the y-axis, B, a rotation of 270 degrees clockwise, C, a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise, or D, a translation left? So I tried to help you out here by showing where the image is going and how many degrees will be added together once you reach its final destination over here in quadrant 2. So we go all the way this way, so we're going to add 93 times, and that should give you your answer. Make sure that your answers are going here on your right. All right? Put the letter or whatever numerical answer that you have there from 1 to 15. 2. Which describes the transformation shown below? So we have A, a translation left and up, B, a rotation 180 degrees clockwise, C, a reflection over the x-axis, or D, a translation right and down. So remember that our pre-image doesn't get the apostrophe and our new image does, so that means I've gone from here to here and I've drawn a line on how it was moved. Alright, so that should give you a good hint there. Number 3, which is not a true statement about the transformation shown below? It says A, the two figures are congruent, or the two figures are the same size and shape. B, the pre-image is in quadrant 1. C, the orientation of the figures stayed the same. So a little note there, the letters are in the same spot as before. Or D, the transformation is a reflection. Now remember, you're picking the one that is not true. So if the two figures are the same size and shape, not your answer. If the pre-image is in quadrant 1, which I labeled for you, the quadrants here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you might need to refer back to this picture for some of these other questions here, but here's a reference for which quadrants are what number. So for B, the pre-image is in quadrant 1. If that's true, you're not going to put that. For C, the orientation of the figure stayed the same, so are the letters in the same spot as they were before? So is it identical? Is the E all the way on the outside on this quadrant here? I don't know. You got to decide for yourself. So, or D, the transformation is a reflection. So if you need to go back and look on how reflections look, you can always go back in your packet and try to match up what a reflection looks like, right? And see if they look very similar. And if they are reflections, you'll mark D. Number 4, which is not a true statement? Which is not a true statement about the transformation shown below. So A, the image is in quadrant 2. B, the two figures are congruent. C, the pre-image was translated to create the image. Or D, the orientation of the vertices did not change. So I just put a little hint here that this is the pre-image and this is the image, and hopefully that'll help you out with your answer. Also, you guys got to refer back to this if it's asking you if the image is in quadrant 2. Remember, this is the pre-image and this is the image. So for number 5, which of the following transformations always preserves the orientation of the figure? A, translations, B, rotations, C, reflections, or D, translations and reflections. So if it says the orientation of the figure, that means it stayed pretty much exactly the same, right? That the shape and the vertices are all in the same spot, but they might have been moved or slid, right? So if the figure slides, then the orientation would be the same. It would preserve the orientation. Number 6, triangle IDE JK has coordinates listed below. So where is J after a reflection over the y-axis? So I wrote you a little comment here, and I gave you an example for number 6. It says, when reflecting over the y-axis, the y-coordinate stays the same and the x-coordinate changes to the numbers opposite. So at first, my coordinate here would be 20 and negative 7. If it was reflected over the y-axis, my new coordinate would be negative 20 and negative 7. So I would use this example and apply it to number 6 up there. Number 7. Which of the following is the algebraic representation for a translation 7 units left and 6 units up? So remember, left means we are going in a negative direction or subtracting from x, and 6 units up means that I am adding. I'm going in a positive direction on my y coordinate. 8. Which transformation is shown below by the coordinates below? So what I did here was, this is a little hard to visualize, so I drew an image on Desmos so that you could see. So my original image was here, right? So this is my pre-image, and they want to know what transformation occurred here. So is it a reflection over the x-axis? Does that look like a reflection over the x-axis, which would run right to left? Is that a reflection? Is it a translation, 8 units left and 8 units down? So remember what translations look like after you're done translating them. Is it a rotation, 90 degrees clockwise? Remember, if you're using this figure and you're going clockwise, you'd be going 1, 2, 3. So it would be 90 plus 90 plus 90. So if it is a rotation 90 degrees clockwise, you got to tell me if that would be true. And remember, if you were going this way, it would be only plus 90, only 90 degrees. Or finally, is it D, a rotation of 270 degrees clockwise? If you need to pause the video to keep this image here, you can do that now. Otherwise, I got to get rid of it to go on. Alright, it says use the graph to answer questions 9 through 11. Reflect figure OPQR over the x-axis. So we got figure OPQR being reflected over the x-axis, which is right here. Right? And I'll even put a line there for you to show you which one the x-axis is. Alright, so we are going to be reflecting that image right there over this axis. So you're going to want to reflect it first and then tell me what the coordinates are for P. So if you just wanted to reflect point P over the x-axis, I'm sure that you can get your coordinates that way as well. That says translate figure STUV 7 units down and 5 units to the left. Record the coordinates for T. So you might just want to translate T, right? 7 units down and 5 units to the left, and you're going to end up over here somewhere. So just record your coordinates after translating point T, or you could translate the whole figure. That would be great. On 11 says, in which quadrant would figure STUV lie after a rotation of 270 degrees clockwise? So that means I'm taking this figure and I'm moving it 1, 2, 3. So basically, what quadrant is this right here? Again, you can refer back to the top if you don't know your quadrants. Alright. So again, number 11 is, in which quadrant would figure STUV lie after a rotation of 270 degrees counterclockwise? So again, we're going 1, 2, 3, so you're going to end up right here. Sorry. Number 12, which is the algebraic representation for a rotation 180 degrees clockwise? So I showed you where you would be starting, and then I'll be going 180 degrees, and you land right there. So my x is negative and my y is negative. That's a big hint right there. It's an easy question. Number 13, which transformation will always produce the same image as a rotation 90 degrees clockwise? So here's my hint. Reflections don't use degrees. Okay? So you can eliminate some answers there. And it says, which transformation will always produce the same image as a rotation of 90 degrees? So it's basically asking, does B or C produce the same image as rotating it clockwise? I mean, they already use 90, so I feel like this answer is pretty obvious. B says point J, -8 and -12, is reflected over the x-axis. Where is J as your new image? All right. This one I think you can do on your own. I don't feel like I have to really help you at all much with that. I've given you plenty of hints about what happens to the coordinates after it's reflected over an axis, but I will say it one more time, is that when you are reflecting over the x-axis, your x-coordinate stays the same and your y-coordinate changes. For number 15, I'm giving you a present. This is your answer right here. So you can go ahead and fill that coordinate, 7x and 6y, right up there at the top on number 15. Alrighty guys, have a great day.